So we want to do Excel Online, and then I need you to help me with this poll. So tell me, do you already use Excel Online? Excel Online is it's like Google Sheets kind of. It's, not your Excel that you have on your, let me see if I can show you what I mean. So Excel Online is something like this. It's purely online. Everything is on a web version of your browser. It's not the desktop app. So that's what we're going to explore today. But like as I mentioned, I will need you to tell me what your experience already is. Do you already use Excel Online, or should I say, have you used Excel Online before? So one option is no, but you already use Google Sheets. That is option one. Another option is no. You've not used it, you've not used Google Sheets or web. And another one is yes. So please go to the link. I've shared it also as a chat in the chat box. So you'll see the direct link. If you click on it, boom, it takes you to where you're able to fill this. But otherwise, you can just go to menti.com and type the code 6388645. So if I get 2 more answers, I think that will set the tone of how I'm going to approach this Excel Online demonstration, or should I say exploration. So please, I'm trying to get 1 or 2 more responses. Waiting for us. It's serious. Only one person is. Okay, if I don't get any more responses, I'll just go ahead with. I will just go ahead with the response I got. So Excel Online. Oh, okay, thank you. So Excel Online is, you're awesome. We have everybody in all categories then. So we all know the traditional Excel. This is Excel, where it's its own dedicated tool, which means that it's a software in its own, that you can maximize, you can browse to it from your application side. You're able to say, oh, I want to, launch Excel. So all of this approach is what is the desktop. This is the traditional Excel as an application that we, have installed on our desktop, on our computer. Okay, so people are familiar with this. Now, the situation is that things have moved on significantly since the time that Microsoft has been trying to push Excel Online and Google have been existing. Now, there's a lot more to it that even if you decide not to use it, it's good you are aware of all of this. Okay, so now, what are the differences that we have between this? So this is the Excel on the normal app. Then Excel Online, how do you get there? Excel Online, it's a very easy to get to application. All you have to do is just like, you want to go to Excel Online, and it is free. Maybe that's advantage number 1. So I'm going to start mentioning like a broad overview of, what the advantages or differences are. So it is free. All you have to do is just type that you want to go to Excel Online. It's usually the number 1 result you get. As you can see, you see office.live, but I don't memorize that one. So all I just do, I type Excel Online in my search box, and I click on this, and it takes me there. Yes. Once you two do that, you're going to experience similar, steps in terms of you click on that. If you have not logged in, it's going to tell you to log in. So I say it is free. Yes, it is free. But if you already have a Microsoft 365 account, it's better you log in with that, because when you log in with your Microsoft 365 account, then advantage of OneDrive, take advantage of the fact that what you do here also automatically is accessible or can connect to your other Microsoft 365 apps, especially the OneDrive platform. And when you log in now, because I log in with my Office 365, you see it notices all of this, it shows me all of this. But that doesn't mean if you don't have Office 365 that you do not have a way of using this. You will. It's just that you will only be limited to that Excel online. You cannot save what you have there to like an enterprise. Okay, let me rephrase it. Well, you will not be able to see all of this. That's what I would say. You won't see all these other things I have in mind. So let's just leave it at that. But you can use all what we want to talk about today. Okay, so I'm going to launch the very same file that I have here on my web, that I have on my desktop. So this is a file that I have on my desktop. It's a file that is on my computer. It's on my documents. My document, let me just take it to rearrange by date. Takes a bit of time. Huh? So at least you see exactly, then I'll pick up pace once I'm starting that you're understanding the two different things I'm comparing. So I'm just waiting for, okay, so come on. M365. That's true. Okay, so see, this particular file on my computer is what I have open here. So we all can see this file. Now I'm going to open it also on the web, Excel web. So this is that same file on the Excel web, right? Let me just increase my computer zoom. So if I open it, then let us start comparing. What are the differences? I want you to tell me if you will notice any difference. So I'm waiting for it to just come on. I'm going to also drag it to the side. Drag it or some. Then I'm going to put it right here. So we can do a compare and contrast. Are you seeing that they look really, really similar, right? I see the same thing. In fact, let me just zoom this. Okay, great. In fact, except you are looking at this browser part of my screen, except you are looking at this side of my screen, you probably will not know that, this is Excel Online, except you're looking at this side. You will not notice that one is Excel Online and one is the desktop app. So now that I've said that, let's me quickly write out what's the main comparison, like a broad overview, before we start focusing on just the Excel Online. We're going to explore the Excel Online, but let's start with what you know and move from what you know or what we already use very well. So if I'm going to do a comparison, my comparison is not a comprehensive one. So the desktop app, so the desktop Excel, the one we installed already, and then the Excel Online. Number one thing is that this is free. So I want you to know that it is free. Number two is that it is always updated. So there is no way I am going to demonstrate Excel online for you and I'll be asking you, can you verify for me whether you have the same version that I have? But you know, when it's the Excel on desktop, some people can be on Excel 2007, Excel 2010, Excel 2013, Excel 2016, Excel 2019, and some people will be on the M365. But this one, there's only one version. You know, there's no multiple versions, and you are certain of it being updated, right? So maybe just to blow it out of this always being updated, something else that I need to let you be aware. You know, you will always have the new formulas. Unlike the Excel app, if you don't update, or if you are not in a particular version, you will find out that there's some formulas that maybe are on the latest version that are not on yours, maybe because yours is not the latest version or it's not a particular version, right? So it always have all the new formulas. There's nothing like oh, there's some formulas on mine that are not on yours. Okay, so it looks like I'm beginning to point out what the advantages are, right? Well, I think it's better I tell you first what will be a compelling reason for why you should want to be aware of all of the different functionalities in it. Then the fact that also there is collaboration. You know what we mean by collaboration? Uh, I can have a file that four of us can work on at the same time. It's not going to be a case of, oh, I have to work on it, then send to you. And until you send me back the version you have worked on, I'm careful not to add more on my own, because whatever I had on my own, you will not see it on the one with you. So you get the whole idea. The fact that collaboration, it means we are able to work at the same time and see, you know, what we've done. It's not a case of, oh, John, email me this file. I want to add some things. Or can you email me the most recent version? No, we all can work on it at the same time. And also to pull out from that is what we call access control. So I can say that this file, I want only 3 or 2 other people to have access to it, right? And if tomorrow I change my mind, there is a quarrel between me and you, I can remove you from it. You will no longer have access, right? So that access control is another very, very great thing about it. In fact, that's what made this collaboration and access control, maybe plus free too, made Google Sheet really popular, that Microsoft had to start saying, oh boy, we need to up our game and make Excel Online also something that we put a lot of development effort into. And you know, as Microsoft is, when they start focusing on something, they tend to, let me not say overdo it, but they tend to now really, really do a lot more than whoever it was that was in that space before. You know, like Power BI, there was Tableau. And Microsoft got into that space and they just completely, you know, pushed Tableau out of the market. And, you know, similarly too, they are taking that approach to Excel Online. Whatever it is that you already have on Google Sheet, they want to match that functionality. And they also want to add things that will make you not want to do Google Sheets. You know, make you to want to do Excel. The only thing is just that somehow Google seems to always have a better user experience kind of stuff. Like, I don't know, they find a way of making their stuff a lot kind of just work easily. But Microsoft is also, the first versions of the Excel Online were not really very fluid, but now they are updating it to make it as fluid as possible. Then also you can from there create surveys or forms or polls. So it's another very compelling reason for you to try it out. The fact that, you know, you can create, this is polls I'm trying to write, survey anyway, polls and survey are the same. Okay. Then before now, people used to think, oh, I'm going to be limited. I can't create pivot table. Yes, like should I say 2+ years ago, you couldn't create pivot table, but now, you know, let me just say almost all the features. So there is beginning to be like a feature parity. So almost all the features. Again, the almost doesn't mean like everything, but like almost everything we use is there. Then what are specific to it? Uh, well, maybe not specific. What are the things that you should want to try out? It has headings. Then it has what we call office scripts. Okay. Uh, so what else should I say? Okay. On this other side, well, we already know what is here. So I'm not going to write things here anymore there. We already know what the Excel on the desktop has. Well, let's focus on the one Excel online. So I'm going to go to Excel online. Excel online. I'm going to maximize my screen. Okay. And I'm going to start first of all with the experience you get when you open Excel online. And for those of us that are not joining, maybe I should just go back one step. So I mentioned that for me, how I get to Excel online, or the fastest way that doesn't require you having to think too much. If you just type in Google search or whatever tool you use, maybe Bing, just type Excel online. If you type Excel online, uh, type Excel online, and you do the search, you will get the direct link. So that way you don't have to memorize what to click on. So that's been my own way anyway. So once I click on that direct link, it takes me straight to Excel Online. Usually it will ask you to log in. You can log in with a free Microsoft account. If you don't have a Microsoft account, you can create one. So it is free. Remember I said Excel Online is free. Then when you log in, let's explore stuff. First of all, using a blank file. So I click on blank. So that you'll be able to see my screen better, let me increase the zoom. Let's see. Okay, I know what to do. I'm going to use my secondary zoom. So I'm going to use another way to zoom it so that great. So this is also equally good. All right, so let's start. We're going to walk through all of the menu so that way you become more confident of the things that are in there. So there's the home menu. I'm using this single. There's a way they. This has like multiple. I could see multiple levels for the functions, right? So this is the one for highlighting, aligning. Sorry. This is okay. See, this is even better. Conditional formatting. Below it is format as table. Below it is cell. So it's a bit, the height is such that houses more than one function vertically, right? Sometime last, I don't know how many months back, Microsoft decided to do this one where I guess so that you have more space for the sheet. So they collapsed the entire menu to be one line. Let me say one line. One line. So that's what they did, and then they became more creative with how you can the arrangement. So that you will notice it across all of them. They all are one line. They don't have that multiple levels of menu. So let's go back to home anyway. Or should I start with file? File, I don't think there's anything really special to show you about file. So home, you have the usual copy paste. So you see what they did, right? You click and then it expands to all the other options. Copy paste, even paste values, paste formatting, more like the paste special we usually do too. It has those options. Then you remember this, or I hope you know this. This is the format painter, where you have stuffs. Maybe you've done something somewhere. So take for instance, I've done something somewhere, and then I've added a border, I've added some colors. I change the font color to maybe blue. Let me just do a whole lot of many things, even if they do not make sense, so you get a feel of what I'm saying. And then I have some bunch of other figures in here, right? So with the format painter, I could just pick this, click on format painter, and then I tell it to paint it across all these other ones. Okay, so it has it, right? We're familiar with fonts, and all of that. And I think it maybe has more font types. Well, I can't verify that anyway, but yeah, we're familiar with this. Then we know the normal increase font, shrink, reduce font, bold, italics. This is regarding the borders. This is regarding the cell color. This is regarding the font color. Then this house is a bit more underlined, strike through, double strike through. This is interesting. I typically I've not noticed double strike through on the desktop one. So I have a figure and I do double strike. So if you like that, it's there. Then this is a line, and then it's got indent. You want to indent. So let's try the indent on. Let's say maybe for now I align all of these to the left, and then I go here and I say indents. Maybe I don't know how it works. Let's try. Maybe I click inside just one. Go here. I say indents. Okay, so it doesn't work on all the cells at once. Okay, and we know what is wrap. Then there's a merge, which you can do merge across, merge and center, and we have the different formatting styles. So we have the usual general number, and all of these. You can pick even more formatting styles, and I think you can even set your custom formatting styles too. So it has that also too. And you say you want to create a custom style, and you plug in what it is you want to type in there. So, okay, I think there's a limitation time here. Creating custom number format isn't currently supported in the web version, but your existing. So, okay, we can't create a custom format, but we can take advantage of the ones that are already existing before. Okay, so we've uncovered one other limitation. And I think I've shown you these. These are regarding the currency. You already know this one. Add, increase the number of decimal, reduce the number of decimal. That's conditional formatting. So about 2 years ago, I think it didn't have, you couldn't create conditional formatting here. But now you can. So it has conditional formatting. It has cell styles. So this is, you want to. I don't usually use this, but I don't know if you are the part of the people who use this a lot. Then you see that it has all those styles. You can pick different color styles you want. Then format as table too. It's got format as table just as we naturally have it on the desktop app. So you can choose the style you want, the color style that you want. Okay. Then you can also insert new rows, new columns. So all those inserts we do too, it's got it. Then if you want to format the cell, so you want to increase the row height, auto fit the row height, column height, auto fit. You want to hide rows, hide columns, hide sheet, unhide. All those ones is got. Rename sheet, duplicate sheet is got. Then it's got the usual clear all, clear format, clear content. It's got them too. Then your common summation and aggregation formulas, sum, average, count, mark. You could even from here go to access more functions. So it got a lot of it got exactly the same experience under the for all these things anyway as we have it on the desktop app. You can do your sorts, your custom sorts. You can do the filter. You can do the find and select, so find and save. And it's also got the go to. Some of us use this go to. Let's go for the go to special. So I use more the go to special anyway. So it's got the go to definitely. You can easily go to a cell if you want to go to A10. So this is a very inefficient way of doing that because I could have just come in here and type the very same thing. I could have said I want to go to wherever I want to go to, right from here without having to use that longer route. But I'm just showing you got it, right? Then ideas are just something that Microsoft has put in there to try to jumpstart you on, trying out new things, right? It's not, and it's based on the data you selected anyway. Like let me try this. If I select this and I go click on that idea, so let me close these ideas. Maybe I should even copy this and paste it closer here so that when I click on ideas, you will see the outcome. So I'm going to click on ideas. Let's see what comes up. So it's trying to come up with some suggestions. So it's coming up with ideas. Do I want to insert charts? Do I want to, so that's the whole, exactly as it says anyway. It's things that Microsoft keeps trying to see what want to add to it. Most of the time, you know what you want to do. So, single line ribbon. So that's what I was. It's called single line ribbon. If you don't want it, you turn it off. So let's turn it off and see what happens, right? Part of me not to notice that. So this is the usual experience, that we, before it used to be, this is what we have on the normal desktop app. Okay? So then we started this simplified ribbon or single line ribbon. Okay? I think I prepared these because this shows this. If I already use Excel desktop a lot, finding things with this layout is faster for me. So maybe we'll just stick with this because this makes things come up easier for me to explain all the menu items. So let's go to insert, right? So now here we begin to see some of the things I mentioned that I said are particular to Excel Online. Let's start with from the left. You can insert a function. So you can decide that you don't know the name of the function, you want to use this insert function to find out what to do. And so it tells you what the function does, and like that, you can pick a category. Maybe what I want to do is related to financial or is related to text, and it shows me all those formulas in there. And like I mentioned, this will always have all the formulas where Microsoft tries to no longer discriminate. So the new formulas they had also exist here. So I can't really say that there will be formulas that they will add and it will just be only for Excel, desktop, and only here. General Excel formulas, so far, I noticed they are also here. So I'm going to come out of here. So let's move on. So this is one thing that you do not have in the desktop one. So from Excel Online, I can instantly say that I want to create a survey, I want to create a form, I want to create a poll, I want to create a quiz, and instantly I design it. And the cool thing about it is as people are filling my quiz, filling my poll, filling my survey, I'm going to be seeing the answer pop up in my Excel sheet. So I can start asking, I want to ask questions like your name. So provide your name, provide your location. So you get the whole idea. I think I already did a session specifically on those things. So when I create here and I send the link out to people, And I send the link out to people. Once they fill it, it's going to pop. These responses are going to instantly show in my the responses will instantly show in my Excel here. Are you noticing? We could try it out together anyway. So you see, it's going to be shown here. So this can be very good if you want to maybe create a form for your farm to do maybe evaluation, or you are carrying out some kind of survey, or when you all know what we mean with surveys anyway. So the concept is that if I share this, let me just take this out as I've done now. I'm going to share it with us all. Let's see if we can complete demonstration site. So I just want to set the settings that anybody can fill it. So anyone with the link can fill. I want that. Accept responses. So let's see. So this is good enough, right? So I can grab the share link. So I'm going to grab the share and I'm going to paste it in the chat box. So test this for us. So I'm sharing in the chat box. So please try to fill it and let's see, this play out, in reality. So this is one good thing about it, the fact that you can from right here create a form. So I hope you are filling it. If you fill it, your answers will instantly show in here. Okay. So moving on, we can create a table. We all know the same table experience in Excel. So you could create a table. And the very most important analysis tool in Excel, pivot table, we also have it in the Excel Online. So that's what I mean by Microsoft wants this to be a first class tool, to something that you will want to use rather than just go to Google Sheets. Google Sheets is making them understand that people really need this type of Excel online, need this online version of Excel. Okay, so then you can insert picture, have that as a picture too. You can insert shapes. So you can decide that you want to insert shapes. Let me do that again. All right. It's a bit different from the Excel web one where you get this draw link. So you can insert shape. I want to delete the shape. I've decided more than what I need. Then I can resize it. I can type into the shapes and say testing. Testing. Okay, that's another thing about the shape. Typing into it is not happening the way I normally do on the web. Let's see. Okay. Yes. Uh, okay. I'm unable to type into it. So that's not a good thing. I normally type into shapes. So just keep that in mind. Maybe I'm the one doing something wrong. But anyway, that's what I'm noticing. In the normal, it has a lot more, it has exactly the same kind of shapes we get anyway in Excel. But it doesn't have smart hearts. Smart heart is this one. Let me show you smart heart. And I use smart heart a lot in Excel too. So smart heart is this. You see this? It does not have, the web one doesn't have this. So if you use this a lot too, for now, you can't. And it doesn't have icon, but not so many people use icon currently and 3D model, but I know a lot of people use smart art, like me. So let's carry on with all the features that are in there. So shapes, this is where we are. Now, so this is one of those advantages that I mentioned in, where I listed out all the what are all the things you should be aware of. So it has this office add-in that once you click on it, it opens up like a store, a Microsoft add-in store where you can see add-ins that might be of importance or of interest to you. So these are the ones that uh, my own habit, but I expect that you could stop. So this is where you see the listing of all the add-ins that have been approved on the store. And these add-ins, some of them do a lot of very meaningful things, something that when you just go through. So once in a while, I just usually advise that people take a time, take like 20, 30 minutes and just scroll through to just get a feel of what's in there. And you might come across something that you'll be very glad you know that is there and you have and save you some stress on some things you already do. Okay, so I'm not going to dwell too much on this. Maybe I'll just plug in an advert. If you're in Nigeria, please should try and add our Nigeria market data. So this is something that uh, me and my team will build. So it helps those of us in Nigeria to get a data about the financial market, the stocks, GDP, unemployment, population, and stuff like that. So if you're Nigerian, you add that. As usual, recommended charts, different type of charts we could have. Has anybody filled the form? Has anybody are you able to fill it? Because if you fill it, I should be seeing the answer pop up here. So please let's try and fill so that we can see, normally the answer will pop up in here. What you feel will show here in real time. Let me see if I can try and fill one myself. So I'm going to copy the link. So this form that I've created, I'm going to try to fill it myself. So let's see. So my name is Michael and location is Lagos, Lagos. And I submit. So let me go check here on our form. What's the first? Not okay, yeah. Very great. So I was about to say that's interesting. It's not showing because that defeats the whole purpose then. So you see, that's one advantage that comes with the Excel Online. Okay. So I move on. We already know charts, different charts. I don't think it has all the charts as we have in Excel. There are some charts that I think this doesn't have. So let me be sure. I read so maybe it has everything now. I'm just looking through the list. So column line five. I think it has all the charts there. Not too certain anymore. It doesn't have map. Okay, I cannot see map. And which other charts do I know very well that I'm not seeing here? Okay, for certain, it's not all the charts, but it has all the common charts we use, right? You can create a hyperlink on our website, and you click on hyperlink, allows you to takes them to our. So you can create a hyperlink. You can add a comment. So you can insert a comment. Say, okay, let me on Zoom. So I could mention that, I could try to get, I can say, hey, um, let me, hey, Faith, kindly look into this. You know? So this is where that collaboration part of it really makes a lot of sense. The fact that you could make it like a team product, something where we are all able to work together, collaborate, do stuff. So this, I don't want to say it because she's going to get a notification and she'll be confused that why am I telling her to look into something. So I'm not going to say this, but you've seen it. So I move on to formulas. So under formulas, not so much. But the funny thing is, you expect that the ability to insert formula should be here, right? Definitely that one is under insert. So what you see under formulas are more like you want to set it to manual, calculate, or automatic. So for now, that's all that there is under the uh, formula tab. Then there's the data tab, right? So the data tab allows you to be able to. So now the thing is, we cannot connect to. If you check here, if it was a normal Excel, you will see ability for you to connect to an external data source. You maybe connect to SQL database or connect to text file or connect to. That is not here. You can refresh. So if you've done this in a desktop app and you uploaded it to the Excel online, it will keep working, but you cannot create a connection to an SQL database, an external data source. But you can refresh whatever existing connection. And it has these new data types, though some have not yet loaded yet because I have some more in my desktop app. So if you take a look at my desktop app, this is what I mean that you can't get data in. But I was talking about this part. So there's stocks, there's let me just expand it up. So you see I have a lot here, right? These are the new ones. So hopefully next week, when we have our special guests from Microsoft, maybe they will mention all these new things they've been adding. But at least you can see that only stocks and geography is what is showing on my own Excel on the web. So there's a bit of a lag. Maybe later on this one will start showing more, but obviously I'm not seeing everything I'm seeing on my Excel desktop. We have the usual sort, sending sort. Now, does it have advanced filter? Let's go check it out. It does not. So we do not have advanced filter. But in Excel web, you see, I have advanced filter, right? On this, on the Excel desktop. On the web one, no, no advanced filter. But we have text to column, flash field, we want to take it, data validation, you can ungroup, So that's the heading under the data menu. It doesn't have a subtotal. So if you check the desktop one, after group, I have subtotal, I have what if analysis, I have forecast sheet, consolidate. It doesn't have those ones. So if you are using that, you won't be able to create that from scratch here. Then I move on to review. So under review, you can do the spell check, you can do work. So this is interesting, huh? So you see this workbook statistics, huh? If you click on it, it's going to let me just do it all over again. So I'm going to close it. Okay. I'm going to zoom. So I don't think this is on the desktop one. I'm going to go check why. I don't think it is. So workbook statistics, it shows me, how many sheets I have. So I have 3 sheets. 1, 2, 3. That's interesting. It's showing I have 2 sheets. Maybe I have something hidden. Well, anyway, it's showing I have 3 sheets, but I think I have 2 sheets. But anyway, you see, it tells me how many cells have data, how many tables I have in this workbook. Then in my current sheet, where the sheet ends, it ends as G11. How many cells have data, how many tables, how many formulas are in there. I can't really say where this is a very super important thing, but it's nice to have, nice to see. Then let's go check the Excel desktop. Let's see. I've not noticed it there, but let's check maybe it's there. Awesome. So well, that's parity. So everything is. So that's nice anyway. Never really noticed it. But that's cool. That's great. So we're having to both the web. It has accessibility checker, and there are some things you put in there to make it up, to have ease of use, to let me on Zoom to see. Do you want it to read stuff for you? Do you want it to? I don't use it anyway, but it has it. If you are the type who uses it, then great. You can. I've done comments, so again, that same comment that I think we did on that insert is the same comment that I'm having again here. Okay, and then show comments, delete comments, and convert all notes to comments. So notes is the previous experience you used to have. So let me just show us the difference. So if I insert a comment, hello, can someone update this for year 2020? And I can call someone's attention to it. I can say especially Emmanuel, I have a colleague, Emmanuel. Okay. Now this is a comment, right? I can send. So there's a send button or post, and then it does it, right? It wants to share it with Emmanuel so that he will see my comment. I'm not going to go ahead with that anyway. So that's a comment. Now, notes. Notes is this. Notes is what used to be comment before now. So this is now notes. Can this is the waiver. So now they call it notes. So notes, comment. Now what you're seeing here is this, you cannot insert notes. I'm not seeing the option to insert notes here. I can only insert comments. Insert new comment. But there's the option to convert if there are existing notes. I can convert the notes to comments. But in the Excel usual one, I can insert notes and I can insert comments. I can say I want to insert uh, new note, new comment. Okay, so that's another thing to take note of. So I move on and go to view. So under view, this has what we call a sheet view. It's also in the desktop app, but most of you will not notice, right? So take for instance this that we have been filling. If I only want to see Lagos, so I only want to see where contains people filling in from Lagos. So as long as the location contains Lagos. So do you want these to see this sorting and filtering from others? Do you want just mine? If I say just mine, can you see it says that I'm now in a sheet view? Can you see? So it has created a view for me. I can rename the view anyway. I can give it a more meaningful name. I can say Lagos view. So it's as if you are saving a filter. So you can be like, okay, let me go back to default. I see everything. Let me see Lagos view. I can create another view and maybe call it Ibadan view. So that's what this does. Some people really like it, but for me it's completely new stuff. So I've not really used it in a real life stuff. But I know people who have been using this in Google Sheet and they really love it and they've been asking for it in Excel. And when Microsoft added it to Excel, they're like, oh, why did it take them this long to add it? And they've been using it in Google Sheets. Okay, so that's that one anyway. Then you can toggle between reading, like reading. So if you can say you want it to be edit view or read, reading view, read view, you can edit. So that way you don't mistakenly change things and you can toggle back to edit view. Okay, so then you could, this is the very same new window. You could create another instance of this particular file by clicking on new window. So you see, create the exact same thing, but like another instance. So you are seeing the same thing. I use it a lot in Excel on desktop. I don't know if I will have a. It helps me a lot with formulas, especially when I'm typing formulas that will go from one cell. Let me see if it will work here. So in the other Excel, I used to be able to type from one cell and go and pick that it will pick it here. Okay, it doesn't work in this one. So that's a negative. Because when I work with the Excel on desktop, the whole use of views is so that I can put them side by side and I can be picking a form. I can do a formula to pick something in a different sheet. But anyway, maybe they will have that. I don't know how to do it because browser might not make that easy to do. So then a split screen, we all know split screen anyway. You can turn off big lines, all lines go up. Yeah, sure, that's true. They're supposed to go up, but okay, now they've gone up. And then headings. Headings, I think, relates to the row and the column headings. And I hate it when they are turned off. Maybe you have a reason to do that. It's there. And then we have come to the side of it that it's specific, it's exclusive to Excel Online. So it has automations, which you will have to enable anyway. So you can record, that's what we call office script. Almost like what we call macro in the desktop, but this one uses JavaScript. So when you do macro in the desktop one, it creates VB code, Visual Basic Code, but this one creates JavaScript. So you can be doing stuff. I could be like, okay, I want to have some figures in here, and I want to do some manipulation on these figures. So I'm doing Control D keyboard shortcut, which is to drag down. For some weird reason, it's not. Let me just. Okay, so it's been working and it's just been slow. All right, so assuming that these things that I'm doing, I want to record my steps. So I say I want to record my actions, and let's wait for it to pop up. So everything I do is going to start generating the code for them. So I can be like, okay, I want to add a border across everything. I want to, let's say I want to insert a chart, insert a pie chart on this. This is a bit slow. I think maybe because I'm doing a webinar at the same time on capturing school. So maybe that's all I want to do, right? I can go in here and turn off the recording. Now, I'm going to create a script. So you see it's called script. It's not called macro. It's not called VBA. So it creates a script. And if I know how to type the scripts from scratch, I can type. So there was a session I did where I demonstrated typing JavaScript. Maybe that's what it's called script anyway. It's TypeScript, JavaScript. Whenever it's done, we'll continue to talk about that one. So that's what this automate does. So the scripts you've written will be there. Some demo scripts that they put there, samples for you to explore will also be there, and you can see the ones you've done yourself. So like this one I've done, when it's done, add up to my own script. Then you see help. So help is self-explanatory. Huh? So you are able to see the normal usual Microsoft Help tools. Then a script lab. So script lab allows me to create a lot more serious ones. So instead of me recording, I can say I want to type my code myself. I want to create the script code from scratch. I don't want to record. So it gives me like a coding environment, and I can start typing the codes myself. So for some reason, my Excel is taking a bit of time to roll. But normally, this is fast. You see like a coding environment, and you can start punching in with TypeScript, the kind of JavaScript. So that's the end. Any questions? It's 4 minutes to go. So any questions? I've tried to take us through it all. The only one thing I know I've not mentioned is, which you will definitely use too, is open a desktop app. So if for any reason you need to migrate what you are doing here to the desktop one, you just click open the desktop app, and it's going to launch Excel on your computer. You will see that very same file open. So it's in mind now. I think it's trying to find the computer. See. Let's see. Okay. Thank God we are here anyway. So I don't know why it's not launching. Okay, yeah, it has. Sorry, I didn't notice. So now this is it. Okay. So any questions? And just some announcement while I wait for your questions. You can unmute yourself and ask your questions. Next week, we're going to have some special guests with us from Microsoft. So 3 special guests. They are going to, let me just pull up. So we're going to have the senior program manager, no, principal program manager for Microsoft Excel is going to be joining us next week. I don't know if you can see my screen. Maybe I'll just share my screen. It looks like we are not seeing my screen. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to share all over again. Maybe that will fix. See that coming up. It's taking longer than usual. I'll drop in the chat box the event page. So Microsoft HQ is providing us 3 senior managers who are going to take us through what's new and interesting in Excel, and then we all can RSVP. So Mr. says I should share it on all the different platforms. I will try to. Are you able to see my screen? So I'm reading on my own. You're seeing me?
Yes.
Yes.
So that means I'm just the one having issues with my own myself. Great. I just wanted to make mention of that. Cool, if you join and if you have any questions, you can. They are the ones doing the things. Whatever it is you've always wanted in Excel and it's not been there, you can ask them on things you want that, or that you have questions about, concerns about. They are. It's a live session. It's not a recorded session. They're going to be able to talk and answer our questions. So maybe I'll even start firing up questions in case people don't ask questions. I'm going to ask on behalf of people.